there, beautiful souls. Welcome back to Sparks of Sunshine. I'm Crystal, and I'm so excited to have you back with me. So, let me ask you, have you ever caught yourself overthinking everything? Like, you've thought about something so many times that your brain is just stuck in a loop? Yep, I've been there too. Overthinking is like being stuck in a mental hamster wheel. No fun, right? Well, today we're going to talk about how to quiet the noisy mind and find a little more peace and focus. Whether it's replaying a conversation or obsessing over the what ifs, we've all been there. But don't worry, we're going to figure out how to step off that wheel and get back to calm. Ready to find some peace? Let's dive in. All right, let's kick things off by talking about what overthinking really is. Overthinking is when your brain feels like it's running in circles, replaying the same thoughts or worries over and over and over. You know the feeling, right? It's like trying to solve a puzzle, but you're missing pieces. It's frustrating and never ending. It's funny how overthinking can just sneak up on you. One moment you're just making a decision, and before you know it, your mind's spiraling through every possible outcome, like a mini disaster movie playing in your head. And the thing is, it usually starts with something small, like deciding what to wear or how to word a text. But then it just snowballs. So, why do we do this? Most of the time, overthinking comes from a place of wanting control. We start thinking about all the possible what ifs, hoping that by overanalyzing, we can somehow prevent something from going wrong. But ironically, the more we try to control, the more stressed we get. Here's the truth: overthinking doesn't solve anything. In fact, it keeps us stuck. It's like sinking into mental quicksand. The more you struggle, the deeper you sink. The trick is recognizing when you're stuck in that loop so that you can take a step back. All right, now it's time for our sunshine snapshots. This is where we take a moment to reflect on those little sparks of joy or calm that sneak up on us, even when things feel overwhelming. The other day, I caught myself in full overthinking mode. You know the kind, where you're replaying every conversation or stressing about something that hasn't even happened yet. And let's be real, it often doesn't. I was so caught up in my head that I decided to finally just take a break. And that's when I noticed something so simple: music playing in the background. It was one of my favorite songs. And for a moment, I felt myself relax. That little shift made me realize that sometimes, even in the middle of mental chaos, we can find those sparks of calm. What about you? Have you ever noticed those moments of peace when your mind feels full? Maybe it's the sound of waves, the smell of coffee in the morning, or even just the sun hitting your face as you step outside. Those little moments are everything, and they remind us to slow down and enjoy the present. Now that we reflected on those little sparks of joy and calm, let's talk about how to quiet that overthinking mind. We've all been there. Your thoughts start looping, and before you know it, you're mentally spiraling over the smallest thing. So, how do we stop that cycle and give our minds a break? One of the things that works for me is recognizing when it's happening. You know those moments when you're replaying a scenario for the 10th time and it's getting you nowhere? That's your cue to step back. One of my go to tricks is turning on some music and move around. It doesn't have to be fancy, just get up. And shifting your energy can work wonders to snap you out of your head. I mean, seriously, how many times have you found that when you shift your environment, your mind tends to calm down too? Another tip I've learned is setting a time limit for overthinking. I know, but seriously, set a timer. Give yourself 5 minutes to obsess, worry, or analyze. And when the timer goes off, you're done. No more debating, no more spiraling. It's like giving your brain a deadline, and it can be so freeing. A friend of mine actually started doing this, and it completely shifted her mindset. She said that giving herself a set time to worry made her realize that she was often worrying about things that didn't really matter as much as she thought they did. Sometimes you just need that reminder that overthinking isn't solving anything, it's just wasting your energy. And let's not forget about focusing on what we can actually control. Overthinking loves to create what if scenarios, but the truth is, a lot of it is stuff we can't change. Instead of letting that stress take over, ask yourself, what's one thing I can do right now? Shifting your focus from the uncontrollable to the actionable makes all the difference. Even something small, like organizing your thoughts on paper or crossing off one of the things on your to do list, it can feel like a huge step forward. The goal isn't to have zero thoughts because, let's be real, that's impossible, but to take a step back, quiet the noise, and remind yourself that you've got this. Now that we've talked about quieting your mind, let's focus on shifting from overthinking to action. Because let's face it, sitting around in a thought loop isn't doing us any favors, right? It's time to switch gears and make things happen, even if it's one tiny step at a time. Action doesn't have to be big or serious. In fact, the smaller and sillier it is, the better. If you've been sitting and overthinking for far too long, get up and do something completely random. Dance around in your kitchen, organize that junk drawer that you've been avoiding, or try balancing on one foot while brushing your teeth. It sounds goofy, but trust me, shaking up your routine helps shift your energy. Another way to snap out of overthinking is to physically change your perspective. Ever laid down on the floor and just stared at the ceiling for a bit? It's weirdly calming, right? Or go outside and lie on the grass and watch the clouds for a few minutes? Sometimes simply changing your view helps clear your mind and reset your thoughts. Let's also talk about action through creativity. Ever try doodling when your brain feels like it's in overdrive? Grab a pen and paper, start drawing whatever pops in your head. No rules, no expectations, just let your brain run wild. Tapping into that creative energy can break the mental loop and help you reset. Okay, I thought it would be fun to bust a few myths about overthinking because let's be honest, we've all fallen for these at some point. You know that myth that goes something like if I think about it enough, I'll figure it out? Yeah, that one. It sounds like it could work, right? Just keep replaying the situation in your head over and over and the perfect solution will magically pop up. But let's be real. Overthinking usually just gets us more stuck. The truth is, clarity often comes when we stop replaying things and just take the first step forward, no matter how small. Then there's the belief that overthinking makes you more prepared. Like, if I consider every possible scenario, I'll be ready for anything. But guess what? Most of the time, overthinking just keeps us spinning in one place. Real preparation comes from trusting yourself to handle things as they come without needing to predict every twist and turn. And here's another one, the idea that if we stop thinking about something, we'll lose control of it. It's easy to feel like if we let go, everything will fall apart. But here's the truth. Life doesn't wait for us to think everything through. Sometimes the best thing we can do is let go a little and trust that we can handle things as they come. The important thing to remember is that you don't have to get stuck in these myths anymore. Trust yourself. Take those small steps and know that progress comes when you step outside of the loop and start moving forward. All right, now that we've busted a few of those overthinking myths, let's dive into some quick wins because who doesn't love a good life hack, right? These are super easy tricks to snap yourself out of overthinking mode and back into the present moment. First, my personal fave, the 2 minute dance party. Whenever you feel your brain going into overdrive, crank up your favorite song and dance it out. Yep, seriously. It's impossible to stay stuck in your thoughts when you're shaking it off and having a blast. Dance like nobody's watching, and you'll feel that mental loop unwind with every move you make. Plus, who doesn't love a spontaneous dance break? Next, unload those thoughts. If your brain feels like it's overflowing with ideas or worries, grab whatever's nearby, a notebook, your phone, or even a napkin, and just start writing everything down. No structure, no organization, just get it out. It's like emptying your brain's inbox, and trust me, you'll feel so much lighter once it's all out and on paper. I talked about it before. Another great thing is to set a timer. Give yourself 5 minutes to think, worry, obsess as much as you want, but set that timer. Let your mind go wild. But here's the catch, when the timer goes off, so does the overthinking. You're done. It's like giving your brain permission to move on after those 5 minutes are up. And finally, when things feel a little overwhelming, just pause and ask yourself, what's a simple step I can take right now? It doesn't have to be a big move. Maybe it's sending a quick text, grabbing a glass of water, or checking off one small task from your to-do list. The small action can get you out of your spiral and back on track. And hey, spreading sunshine to others is an amazing way to take action. Write a quick thank you note to someone, leave a sticky note with a compliment, or send a funny meme to a friend. When you step out of your own head and do something kind for someone else, it creates positive momentum. So the next time you catch yourself spiraling, ask yourself, what's something fun or unexpected I can do right now? Whether it's for yourself or someone else. That small shift can totally reset your mindset. You've got this. Just take the first step and the rest will follow. And that's a wrap on today's episode of Sparks of Sunshine. I hope you're feeling ready to quiet that overthinking and bring a little bit more clarity and calm into your day. If you've enjoyed this episode, I'd love for you to subscribe, leave a comment, or share it with someone who could just use a bit of extra sunshine in their life. I'm excited to be on this journey with you, and trust me, we've only just begun. I'll catch you on the next episode, beautiful souls. Until then, keep shining bright, stay grounded, and we'll continue this journey together.